Ms. Kendler, in your written testimony, you write that, quote, ensuring that U.S. technology is not used against us is central to our approach with the PRC. We have recent reporting indicating, however, that the administration has delayed a new licensing policy that would finally restrict all U.S. technology from going to Huawei, a firm I think few, if any, would deny is deeply hostile to U.S. interests. So I'm going to go this way. Dr. Ratner, if the vote came before the End User Review Committee today to restrict all U.S. technology going to Huawei, how would you vote, yes or no?
Congressman, I'm not a voting member of that committee, but I think we are still waiting on data and information about the costs of actions like that when we assess them, and I don't think we have that information yet to have rendered a final decision.
So let me rephrase it, as I suspected this would happen. Do you believe, Dr. Ratner, that U.S. technology should go to a company that spies on the U.S. like Huawei?
No, Congressman.
Mr. Crittenbrink, do you believe that U.S. technology should go to a company that spies on the U.S. like Huawei?
No, I believe we should take steps necessary to defend our national security, and we will, and we have.
Ms. Kendler, do you believe that U.S. technology should go to a company that spies on the U.S. like Huawei? Yes or no?
No, I do not. We are very clear in our national security approach to Huawei. Absolutely no advanced technology is permitted under our regulations. I'd also note that under our advanced computing rule of last October, we've targeted technology used by companies like Huawei. That broad technology sector approach applies to companies across the PRC, and perhaps in a way that is even more effective than an entity-specific listing.
So I just want to note that we had 3 of the 4 agencies involved in U.S. export control policy, 3 of the 4 that have a vote on the ERC, say that U.S. technology should not enable Huawei. And I hope, Ms. Kendler, that your agency will be submitting to the ERC a request for a vote on denying all U.S. technology to Huawei. It is my view that we can't delay this action any longer. And I think that gets to a core concern. I won't speak for any other member, but I alluded to in my opening statement, the idea that we may be delaying defensive action in order to pursue economic and diplomatic engagement with the People's Republic of China. And to that end, Mr. Crittenbrink, on Tuesday at the House Foreign Affairs Committee, you acknowledged that the administration has not sanctioned a single official under the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act. Have you ever advised Secretary Blinken, Deputy Secretary Sherman, or any other senior U.S. government official to delay sanctioning PRC officials under the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act?
Mr. Chairman, two responses. One, we've taken a range of actions, not under the Uyghur Human Rights Protection Act, but a range of other actions, including under Global Magnitsky and a range of entity listings, and also visa restrictions to punish and hold accountable Chinese officials. I'm not in a position to comment in detail on matters that are pre-decisional and under deliberation. But
have you ever advised any senior U.S. government official to delay sanctions under that act?
I'm not in a position to comment on pre-decisional matters that are under deliberation. What I can assure you
I'm talking about sort of, this isn't pre-decisional, I'm talking about past actions that you've done. Have you ever advised?
For matters that are under deliberation, I'm not going to comment in detail on any discussions that may or may not have happened, but
you don't want to answer the question.
I will commit to you what I committed to our Chairman McCall and other HVAC committee members. We are committed to enforcing U.S. law. We have done so and we will do so, including under this act and including against a range of Xinjiang officials, consistent with what we've done to date.
I guess I'll ask one more time. So have you ever advised any senior U.S. government official to delay sanctions under the Uyghur Human Rights and Policy Act?
What I have advised is that we will carry out our obligations under the law, but I'm not going to comment on the details of our internal deliberations.
Okay, so I obviously disagreed with your assessment that the administration has taken an unprecedented number of actions against the PRC. In terms of like a net assessment of what you've done versus the previous administration, is there any metric by which you've done more?
What I would say, Mr. Chairman, is it's the number of actions, it's the consequence.
What then is the number relative to the previous administration? Which you can, I mean, it should be a...
I'm talking about the whole scope of our actions across the board to build American national power and defend our interests. Those would be entity listings, those would be Treasury SDN listings, Those would be the advanced computing rule.
But if your
Would be
claim
the
is you've done
extraordinary-
more, unprecedented
That
is the
would be
word you
the-
use. Give me the number that proves that claim.
The numbers that I refer to are approximately 250 entity listings, 150 Treasury SDN listings, a range of other visa.
Is that
restrictions.
more, like, just give me, so take that,
So what I'm
subtract
again,
or
what
from
I'm-
the previous
what I'm
administration,
arguing,
similar
sir, is
domain,
when you take the whole
what
scope of
remains?
our actions, both.
I'm a liberal arts major, but what remains would be more if it's unprecedented.
What I'm arguing, sir, is if you take the whole range of our actions, I would argue that their impact and their scope is
So
unprecedented.
I'm out
and I
of
would
time.
argue effective, sir.
I'm out of time, but I would appreciate it if you would come back to this committee. Again, I could be wrong. Just show me the numbers.
Yes,
To
sir.
prove this perhaps unprecedented claim that you have done unprecedented actions against the CCP. And I will say that I'm wrong if I have the numbers in front of me. So with that, I recognize